Hey, guess what we're talking about today? Food not being a reward, right? Okay, so what does that mean? Like we have a bad day at work, so we think like, I'm gonna go home and have a bottle of wine, or I did really good this week, so I'm gonna eat a pint of ice cream, or hey, game well played. Here's 3 bags of fruit snacks and a Snickers bar because you did good. So we associate food with rewards. We make our dogs do tricks and we give them treats. That is not how we should look at food, because we're tying an emotional attachment to the food. We're tying the fact that you have to be good at whatever it is that you're doing or all week, or you have to have some sort of traumatic bad thing in order for you to eat a certain way. So we're tying it to a good or a bad emotion, which then turns on emotional eating. I know you're probably thinking, wait, well, we're just giving snacks to kids and we're just, these are things that we're doing. But then we get to this point where food becomes powerful. Like food, it has power over us, because if we've done something good, we're going to celebrate and we're going to eat cake, right? And then maybe we feel guilty about it later. So there's those emotions that we're tying to it, like, well, I shouldn't have eaten it, but I did really good and I deserve it. So there has to be this mindset shift. There has to be a happy medium, because a lot of people that I work with have this whole emotional eating thing going on. And this, honestly, I think is where it stems from, because then we feel like maybe we're just not worthy of being able to eat cake because it's bad, or we didn't play the game well enough, so we shouldn't get this, that, or the other. Why does it have to be a reward? Why can't it just be something that either we have overindulged in, we do it in moderation, we eat according to our goals, we find this happy medium, and we don't freak the crap out about it? Because that is what is happening. It's either we're eating too much, we're not eating enough, we're eating too much crap, we're not eating enough of the right stuff. And the food choices, good or bad, that we're making are either making us feel proud or guilty. That's tying it to being a reward, and it shouldn't be done that way. It should be changing this mindset shift, and instead of using it as something that you get because you're good, or you don't get because you've been bad. I mean, we've all done it. We've all told our kids, like, hey, if you'll clean your room, I'll give you a cookie. Come on. Or, hey, you're not going to get dessert if you don't eat your dinner. Yes, that's a consequence. You suffer. But it's tying it to an emotion, because then they're upset. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just talking about it not being a reward. You do what you want with it. I feel like it should just be used in these things. Food is something that you're using to fuel your body. You should eat to live, not live to eat. Okay? So this is where this overindulging comes in, and we have to find a happy medium. I mean, don't feel guilty if you're having cake or you're eating something, but don't use it as a like, hey, job well done, go do this, or I've had a bad day and I need to do that. It's tying everything to emotions. It's giving food power over your emotions. And a lot of times it's like people then they turn into, I'm not going to deal with my emotions, I'm just going to turn to food as the reward to help with whatever this bad or good emotion is that I'm having, which in turn goes into the emotional eating. And we don't understand how it all stems and where it all comes from, but this is a huge part of it, is tying it to either a good thing, a bad thing, I'm proud or guilty, and this is why I'm eating this or not eating that. And it's just too obsessive. So my suggestion is, hey, it's just food. Really, it is just food. Don't freak out like crazy. Try. I know it's a hard mindset shift to make, but you have to realize, like, I need to look at food as fuel for my body, not as a reward for job well done, or punishment for something I did wrong that I can't have, or I can have, or whatever. You shouldn't feel guilty for wanting an occasional snack or having an occasional snack, but what you should do is realize that you shouldn't be tying it to your feelings. I know certain things we eat, they make us feel great, right? And that's just, go look at my sugar videos, you'll understand that. What I'm saying is, it's not a reward. It's something that we need to understand, that it has to be in moderation. We can't just be like, hey, I'm going to eat this because I was good today. The whole emotional thing of it is, it's hard, to turn it into not a reward. So remember this. Stick with the 80-20%. 80% stick to what your goals are, and 20% it's okay to do these things. Don't tie it to a reward or an emotion. Just do it because it's food and you can do it. Some people will disagree with me, but if you get too obsessive over it, then you don't enjoy anything. You really don't. I was at that point before. I really was, to where I was like, I can't eat that because then I'm going to feel like crap after I eat it, or then I'm going to feel like I need to go exercise, or I didn't exercise as much as I should, so I shouldn't eat that. But it's just this crazy vicious cycle that goes on. And if you don't slowly, it's not something that happens overnight, that the mindset shift of it, but if you don't slowly do it, you're always going to have the emotional eating issue. And I work with a lot of people that have these issues, and we're trying to work past it. We're trying to figure out, like, this is where it goes. This is what stems, what triggers it for one person and to the next is different. So that's what we work on, figuring it out. And to me, if you are finding a happy medium with it and you're okay with it, then that's all that really, really matters. But for it to be a reward, and for us to reward kids with it and to reward ourselves with it, is putting it into that emotional thing to where, hey, we're not worthy of this because we weren't good. We're not worthy of it because we didn't, we're going to feel guilty later. So keep that in mind when you're eating, and when you're indulging, or when you're finding a snack or eating something that before you thought, I shouldn't eat this because I didn't do this, that, or the other. Just know that it's food. You're not going to eat a whole, maybe you will, you're not going to eat a whole package of Oreos because, and here's the thing, you might if you had a bad day. That's tied to the emotion. Like, I had a bad day, so guess what? I deserve to eat these Oreos and have this euphoric sense after I go on the sugar rush, and then come down from it and feel guilty. So don't tie it to the emotions. If you want to have some Oreos, just have a few Oreos. Not because you had a bad day, just have them. That's it. That's all I've got for you. Don't tie your food to a reward. We are not animals. I only make my dog do tricks sometimes to give him food, but other than that, I feed him every day. So no, we're not. And someone asked me one time, and I'm gonna cut this off real quick after this. Someone asked me one time, like, well, what do you give your kids for snacks? And I'm like, well, after I make them do a backflip and give me a paw and roll over, then I give them, a Snickers bar. They have snacks when they want to have snacks. I don't have a house full of them, because it's not like, hey, you cleaned your room, so have a snack. Everybody's different, but as far as it being a reward, that's something that if you feel that you're tying it to an emotion and you have emotional eating binges or whatever, that's something that you have to realize, like, I can't feel guilty about it. I can't make it a reward. I have to find a happy medium, go with 80-20%. And, we're human. It happens. So just remember that. And thank you guys for getting on, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.